Conceive, believe, achieve.
This is former UFC middleweight champion of the world, Michael Bisping.
Paddy the Baddy here. You're listening to Combat Sports UK.
And you're watching Combat Sports UK.
What's going on, fight fans? Rob Smith back again for Combat Sports UK. I'm here with Joe Lister, who takes on Dwayne Smith at Cage Steel at September 7th. Joe, how you doing, mate?
I'm good, mate. You?
Yeah, mate, I'm pretty good. Can't complain. Now, I want to jump straight into it, really. The first thing I want to talk about is, for the fans who don't know, this is a bit of a different fight. It's not your average boxing fight. It's actually cage boxing with 4-ounce MMA gloves. Can you kind of talk me through what was your thought process in? Because I think you fought boxing in 10-ounce gloves. You've got a very experienced record, which is one thing that really stood out to me. I watched a little VT clip posted by Cage Steel, and the two things that really stood out was your age and your experience. I couldn't believe you're only 20 years old, and you've already had 35 fights.
Yeah.
And so, what made you kind of want to switch to the 4-ounce gloves? Like, what kind of influenced you to start doing the cage boxing?
Because I think it'll suit my style a bit more, mate. Because I'm very aggressive, and I like to knock people out. And I think with them on, I'll be able to knock them out better, won't I?
Yeah, so you think, like, obviously the lighter gloves. And so, with your training, have you had to make any alterations? Obviously, with you fighting in a ring, it's a bit different to fighting in the cage. Have you had to do any alterations to your training with different style gloves, working on different types of footwork? Any different alterations to your training?
Yeah, we've got to be more elusive in and out more, because if you get caught with them on, you're gonna know about it, aren't you? You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And for the Cage Steel fans, what can they expect to see from you September 7th?
Destruction. I'm gonna knock him out, 100%. I'm gonna knock him out.
And obviously, we mentioned about how experienced you are at such a young age. Do you think that experience will have a massive benefit in the ring? Because I think it's very rare to see a 20-year-old with 35 fights, let alone a 30-year-old with 35 fights. Do you think that experience will have a massive effect on your career in general?
Yeah, I think it will. Yeah, because most people in BKFC or Cage Steel with 4-ounce gloves, they've not had any amateur experience really, and because I've been in there before, I know how to move about and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course, mate, of course. And obviously, you're training with the 4-ounce gloves. Have you had the itch to give MMA a go at all?
No. I like to. No, I don't like them leg kicks, mate. I don't want to get kicked.
It's fair. It's a perfect thing. You get the 4-ounce gloves without the leg kicks. It's ideal for you.
Yeah, don't like kicks.
That's fair. I used to train kickboxing. I don't like it myself.
I don't know how to do that, mate. I don't know how to do that. Kicking.
No, I mean, I did it for about 2 years, and I enjoyed it for like the fitness aspect, but I never wanted to actually fight in it. It's brutal, mate. It's a brutal sport.
Not for me, that.
But to be fair, you could say the same about, obviously, you've talked about BKFC. Like, I think that takes a lot of guts in itself, like, to do that sort of thing. Like, what's your thought process in? Cause I think most people would avoid the 4-ounce boxing and also the BKFC. So what makes you want to do that compared to regular boxing?
I've always wanted to do it, to be honest with you. I've been watching it for years, and I just think I'd love to have a go at that. You know what I mean? I just love how brutal it is, mate. I love the blood, the cuts. I love it all. So I'm gonna have a bash it and see how we get on.
And what kind of
I meant to say cuts then. Cuts, not cuts.
You're all good, mate. You're all good. And what kind of influenced you to just start boxing in general? Was it say like in your family, or was it just something you saw as a kid and you thought, I love this sport?
No, because I was originally a gymnast. Yeah, and in school I got bullied a bit for it, so I thought, right, I'm gonna get my dad to take me boxing and see if I like it. You know what I mean? So he took me boxing, I fucking loved it, and then I stopped getting bullied as well. So that worked.
I was gonna say, I don't think anyone's gonna want to bully you now, mate. To be honest.
No. Yeah.
So obviously, talk about your aggressive style. So when you're training, do you do a lot of sparring? Because I think if someone who likes to have the scrap, is sparring heavy in your training camps, or is it more like pad work?
Mate, it's like we spar once a week, but when we spar, it's hard sparring. You know what I mean? We try and take each other's heads off. So yeah, it's hard sparring.
Right. Okay. And then, so do you just train full time, or do you also have a job outside of fighting?
I have a job outside of fighting. I'm a scaffolder, mate.
Scaffold. Okay. Right. Okay.
So I'll run in the morning, go scaffolding, and then go to training. I'm knackered. I go training.
And so, do you have what are your like short-term goals for, say, in the next 2 years? Where do you want to be in the next 2 years in your career?
next 2 years, I want to have a British title or even a world title. I believe if I could jump the ladder now and fight the world champion, I would. I think I
Yeah.
could beat him. I think I'd beat him.
Well, I think that's the mindset you've got to have. I think in this sport, you've got to believe in yourself.
Hmm.
And another thing as well, I noticed obviously when I first followed you on Instagram, you've already amassed quite a big following. You've got 32,000 followers. You're verified. You've amassed quite a big following already at such a young age. And I think in this sport, especially in combat sports, you see it in the modern day, especially since like your Chael Sonnen, your Conor McGregor's, like building a name for yourself is so important these days. And I think like having a fan base can take you much further than just ability alone. For example, I was at a PFL event about a couple of months ago in Newcastle, and they had a world champion on the prelims, and they had like they had like people who weren't champions but had a big name on the main card. And I think it just goes to show the importance of building a fan base. And so, is that something you've really put a focus on, or has it kind of just happened?
It's just happened, mate. To be honest with you, it's just
You
happened.
think, you think people just like watching you fight?
Yeah,
I think you must. I think that you've got that fan-friendly style. You come to scrap. You put the pace on your opponent. You come to take heads off, and that's what the fans really want to see.
yes, yeah. I
That's
love
exactly what it
it.
is. I think as much as I love MMA, you do get these people who just wrestle, and I think that's the beauty of this cage boxing with Cage Steel, that you're getting
Yeah.
all the violence of MMA, but with just stand up, just hands. And I think
I prefer that, yeah.
I think I expect. I don't know if Cage Steel do performance of the nights or fight of the nights, but I think your fight could be in very good contention for that.
Yeah.
And we'll finish
Definitely.
off one final thing, mate. What is your prediction for the fight?
A first round KO or stoppage. That's what I'm going for. That's what's going to happen. Definitely.
Yeah. I was going to say that's going to
That's
happen. Yeah.
That's going to happen.
Right, perfect,
that's
mate.
fine.
And do you want to shout out your socials at all?
Pardon?
Do you want to give your socials a shout out? Like your Instagram.
My Instagram is joelister_1. And
Now, do you have a
Facebook,
code? Do you have a code from Cage Steel to buy tickets with?
CSJ Lister is the code. In
Well,
all
if you're looking to get
capitals.
tickets, if you're looking to get tickets, use the code support the fight. It's the best way to do it. Joe, I want to thank you for your time, mate, and best of luck on Saturday.
Thanks, brother. Thank you, mate.